Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create a wooden plank, custom wooden plank, as well as a crafting recipe for that wooden plank. We're going to be focusing on Azure wood today, but you can do it for your own if you feel confident enough to do so. But the first step is going to be creating a world. You can name it whatever you want, but we will have to remember this name because we will have to reference the world name in the documents. The reason we have to reference this in the documents is because Hytale's modding actually works quite different than most other modding. Um, you don't mod the client, right? You mod the server you're playing on, and when you join that server, the mods get downloaded. Um, Even single player is technically a server. You're running a server, and all the mods are through that server. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into the world. You're gonna pick a portal. Make sure you're in creative. I'm gonna give it a second to load. You can go ahead and opt self, which is important because we can't access the editor without opting ourselves. We're gonna go out here and we're gonna go ahead and launch that editor. So this is where you do all your modding. This is how you mod the game. This is how you edit things. This is how you change things. This is your built-in one-stop shop for modding. If you in the future, if you're doing like complex models or anything like that, particle systems, you might have to go outside to make the actual like effects, and then you'll bring them into here. But for now, the only thing we're gonna have to import is a few textures. It's gonna be text based, easy. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make our pack. This is what holds all your mods under it. Everything your changes gets held under this. This would be like if we were making mechanism for Minecraft. This would be the name mechanism. Everything in mechanism is under that mod. We're gonna make ours more woods. The group is just the people working on the mod pack. For us, it's a single person, so I'm just gonna put my name D. So now we have a mod here, and we also have Hytale's read only section. The read only section is a zipped file holding all the assets in Hytale. We do not edit these assets. We cannot edit these assets. It'll break things, and it's not meant. That's not how you're meant to. It would be a destructive workflow. Instead, we overwrite assets or inject our own assets through our mods, right? So we're going to be making a plank. So we're going to go ahead and look for an item because a plank is an item in the game, and we're going to call it Azure Planks. We're going to create it. So you're probably thinking, okay, now what? How would I ever know what to do with this blank canvas? I didn't work for Hytale. I don't know what their coding convention is. That's where this read-only file comes in very, very handily. So we're making a plank. Well, good news. There's already planks in Hytale. So we can just look up hardwood and we can find planks. Look at there. Everything we need to know about planks is right here. We can just copy it, go back over to our mod, More Woods, go to our Azure plank. Actually, we can just click it up there. It'll show up there. And we just paste it in, apply changes, and look at there. We've added a plank to our game. Now, it's the same plank texture-wise. It has a different name, but it's the same plank. But it is technically modded into our game. So what's next, really? The next thing we have to do is add textures. This is going to require us to go outside the asset editor. We're actually going to have to put mods or put files into our mod section, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do our run command. You're going to put %appdata%. If you've done Minecraft in any way, you probably know about this. This is where a lot of game data is kept. I'm just going to scroll down until we find Hytale. Hytale. And when we find Hytale, you're going to go into Hytale. You're going to go to user data. You're going to go to saves. Because again, Hytale is based off of the world, the server, the place you're playing the game, not actually the client itself. We're going to go into our world, which I believe is D World 1, maybe? Mods? Yeah. And we're in here. First thing we're going to do is a new folder. We're going to call it common. We're going to click into that folder and we're going to do block textures. We're also going to do another folder, call that icons. We're going to click into block textures. There's going to be 2 images in the description. Links to them or whatever that you can download. And we're going to take those images and we're going to just drop them into this file. We're going to back out to common and we're going to go into icons. And when we go into icons, we're going to make another folder. This folder is going to be called items generated. And within that, we're going to drop this texture, the 3rd texture in our group. This is essentially what the player will see in their hand, what they'll be holding in their hand, in the icon area of their thing. That way, they know what's in their inventory. So that's it. That's all we have to do in the file section. You can go ahead and click out. You might want to leave it open because we will need those names. What we're going to do is we're going to change these textures, right? We're going to start with the icon. Going into this file, and we're going to grab this text right here just by clicking rename and copy and paste. And then we're going to take this one right here after the period to the slash and paste that in, right? What that will do is update the icon that's shown in your inventory. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back out. We're going to go back to comments, block textures, and we're going to grab this one. Just rename, copy, Control C, and you're going to go over here and we're going to see which one we have. We have side, but this is the up and down one. So we're going to change this to top. And then we're going to go back here and we're just going to paste this one in. Make sure these line up. Top on this one, sides on this one. Double check the names, make sure they're correct, because it does matter. Make sure the capitals are correct. They are. They're the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to, you'll see this, it'll hit apply, and you're going to get these errors. These don't exist. What are you doing? You're insane. That's because Hytale, at the beginning of the game, loads all the assets. So what you actually have to do is we're going to have to close down Hytale. We're actually going to have to close this all down. Close this down. Close this down. We're going to escape, go to desktop. This is so that all those assets get reloaded. Then you're going to hop into your world. And you're going to go, once it boots up, you're going to go back up into your creative tools, assets, asset editor. And you're going to go into your mods. You're going to look up Azure. And look at there. It's showing up. And if we hit apply changes, no error. If we equip item, we go into game. Look at there. We have our block, but you're going to notice there are some things wrong with it. And you guys can't hear the sound, but if you pick the wrong block, not planks, you might hear the wrong sound as well. Like if you clicked off stone or something like that. But yeah, so you have a plank into the game. You've officially modded Hytale. Now, there is a problem with this block. If we go into our Builder's Workshop and we go into our logs and we go like this and we grab some oak logs, right? We go over here. We can't put Azure logs into the Builder's Workshop, but we can put oaks. And for some reason, oak has your new block, but it's called hardwood planks, and it's called hardwood planks in my inventory, and it's just not making any sense. So we have some things clearly to fix. So if we go back into the asset editor, there are a few things we can do on here. Firstly, This is completely wrong. Our name is going to be Azure. I believe is how they do it in what? So if we go back in, look at there, Azure Wood Planks. Azure Wood Planks. Fantastic. My cat is saying hello. Next, we are going to. So there's some problem with the crafting. And if we look in here, if we just take a perusal, we'll find resource types and we'll find a recipe which uses this resource type, right? In the recipe, we have a resource ID type, right? We have a quantity of what we'll need. We have a bench requirements, which is the builder's table. That is correct. The category that it'll be placed in, and how many it will craft of that item right here. Quantity. Right. Sorry, I lost my place. Right here. And down here in resource types, we have a set of parameters that we give to an item to tell it what it can and can't do in the game, right? What it is. For example, fuel and charcoal. Take a guess what that means. It means this item can be used as fuel and charcoal. The idea of wood planks tells the game that it's a wood plank. It also tells it that it's a hardwood, right? That's what essentially what it tells the game. Um, so we have a problem because the item we need to edit is within our read-only files. This item right here, because we need to tell the game we need to tell the game that Azure Planks has the resource type that correlates to our planks and allows us to craft it, right? And we can't do that because this is a read-only file. So how do we do that? We go right up here to the top where it says override asset. And it brings up this screen. All you have to do is create. And we have our Azure log perfectly working. And it's now editable, so we can change things. What we need to do next is we need to look up oak. Because if you see here, this item has a parent. A parent essentially tells an item or an object. So the parent oak wood trunk tells Azure trunk all the information it needs. Everything the oak wood trunk has gets put onto the Azure trunk, but only if it's there, right? So we're going to go ahead and overwrite that one as well. From over here in the Hytale, we look up oak. We go to oak trunk. We go ahead and overwrite, create. Now we don't have to edit this one. Perfectly fine as is. And it'll just be right there. So what we do need to change is Azure trunk. We need to create a new ID. So we can just take this and hit enter, put it over there, put this over. We can call it Azure Craft. Now we have an ID that says, hey, there's an ID called Azure Craft attached to me. It doesn't really do anything unless we go into Azure Planks. Oh, make sure your apply changes. You're going to get an error here. It's telling us that there is no type called Azure Planks. That makes sense. We haven't made it yet. We will make it. So we're going to come in here and we're going to say, okay, instead of resource type ID of wood hard plank trunk, we're going to say, does it have this Azure Craft ID? And if it does, you can build. You'll make wood. You'll put it in the wood planks category, and it'll make one. Right? You're gonna notice this one. This one doesn't give us an error, but this one is still giving us this error if we try to update it. It says, "Hey man, we don't know what Azure Craft is. There's nothing in our files called Azure Craft. What are you talking about?" And that's because if you go over here into Hytale and we look up resource, or we look up hardwood, you notice that in your resource type right here, we have these. There's an actual object for these things, right? That there's actually files in this resource type that they have a file, and without them it won't work. So we're gonna go back over to our more wood, and we're gonna go resource type. All right, resource type, and then what did we name it? It was Azure Craft. Right. We have our resource type. But what do I put in here? I don't know what to put in here. I don't work on the Hytale team. So we go over here. We see what's in this one. We say, oh, okay. They've got this in here. So we can just copy and paste it. Go over to our mod. We go to Azure. We paste it in. Obviously, we got some problems. Probably should name this something different. And I don't think that really matters. So we don't actually ever see this icon. So we can just hit apply change. Go back to our trunk. Let's make an edit and backspace it and see. Look, it disappeared. No error. That's because we now have something for that item ID to actually reference. Now it's referencing, hey, I have the ID Azurecraft, and the ID Azurecraft actually exists, and I know what that means. Because in my planks, we call that, and we call it for the builders thing. So if we go back into game, and we press F, we put our oak logs in there, we no longer see our Azure planks. And if you notice, we can actually pick these up. It doesn't black out anymore. Like, these are actually an option. And we put them in there, and look at there. Azure wood planks. Craft 100 of them. Place them down. Oh, man. We've got another problem. We forgot about the particles. So what do? We go into this, and we look at Azure planks. We go into this editor. And where do we think the particle system for particles would be? Well, it's probably under particles. And oh, look. There's a color slider. We'll just get it close to that and put it down, and look at there. Maybe a little more editing, but yeah, it's pretty much the same. And that's all there really is to it. You the biggest thing I really want to like express to you guys in this video is that like a tutorial is only going to get you so far, right? Like the first tutorial I showed on screen is a good tutorial. I'm not like bashing him. He shows you he promises a thing and he gives it to you, right? The problem is that like it's not enough, right? Like it's never gonna be enough. It's not exactly what I wanted to make, right? Like my goal was to make an Azure plank that like looked like it fit into the game, right? And in his video, the particle system didn't work, the sound wasn't right, like it didn't get me that way. And how did I? And as a new modder, you might be like, how did I get to the point where I understood what to change and how to change it? And it's like it's literally this read only file. Like if there's anything you want to do, like obviously you might not know code, right? So it might be hard for you to parse if you don't know code, right? But there's a Discord that has a modding community. And if you want to learn how like farming works and like how they do chicken coops and like what is this doing and like what is this source code doing? And it's like, oh, there's a resident. What it was it? You can literally just go into the Discord and ask somebody because I there's probably somebody in the Discord that can like explain it to you, right? And like that are more than willing to help. So that's one resource is you can go onto the Hytale Discord and into the modding section and just ask questions when you want to know something, right? And the second thing is just like once you get a grasp on like what these things mean, right? Like what bludgeoning means or like they're like the logic behind Hytale's team, right? And blocks are the reason I chose blocks is because they're the easiest, right? They're really easy to wrap your head around, like items. Like we'll look at the oakwood trunk, right? Like this is a lot. Like this is a lot, but like it's it tells you what it does if you read it carefully. It's like okay, What is this? Well, this is the name of the item. It says server.items.oakwood.trunk.name. Like, what could that be? Well, it's probably a variable, right? Like, it's just telling you what the item is, and like it's using variables, but you can just write that in, right? If it was a more complicated thing, well, what about this? What about the icon? Well, it's probably the icon of the item, right? And if we go into the game files, into the asset zip, and we look at this directory, right? You'll see what you can open the image and see what it is, and it's like, oh, it's a little square that shows us what the item is. Oh, it's what goes in the inventory. You can like slowly dissect the game one item, what like one line at a time, and realize like what things do, right? Um, and like you don't even have to do it in the script. The editor has a lot of this functionality as well. I just prefer scripting. Like we have like the particles, for example. Like we have, oh, what is this? Well, this is like, oh, these are the different particle types, right? Like we could have it make a metal particle. It's like, well, what if I wanted to make my own particle? Well, then you would go look at particles in the read only, copy the one that's closest to you, and then like insert your own particle textures or whatever, right? Like the what I'm trying to get across to anybody watching the video is that like it's more than just following a tutorial. And this isn't just modding, this is game dev in general. Like you got to go beyond the tutorial. And that might not be right now, but eventually you have to like go into the meat and potatoes of like the editor and make sure you understand like what they're doing, because Hytale is much better at this than we are. Like the developers of Hytale are much better at this than we are, because the game's been out for a day and they've been working on it for 7 years, right? Like, so cheating off of their homework is only gonna like it's only gonna make you better at developing for Hytale, and that's essentially what you're doing. Is you're developing for Hytale, because they've given us all the tools. This is fantastic. Like we can do so much with this editor, right? So like looking at their like cheating off of their um cheating off of their homework will get you so far, right? Like if you want to make furniture or whatever, like obviously, so like for example, a great example of that is like, why are these separated, right? Like why is one up here and there's a gap and one down here? Well, if you remember, in our thing, we go into our planks. It's like, well, what would like cause a separation there? Like what might do that? And if we look through here, it's like, oh well, there's these categories, right? There's a category and it's wood planks, and like I'm sure like the decorative wood planks are categorized as wood planks as well. But like what about this, what do we have in here? What about these fences, right? Like what about these hardwood fences? So we go over here and we hardwood fence, all right? Okay. Well, like if we go down to the recipe and we, oh, okay. So there's a category of a wall, right? There's a category of wall, all right. So if we were to take that and we take the hardwood planks wherever they are, and we overwrite this, and we go over here and we make this a wall instead, wherever it is. Yeah, let's put it in under category wall. We apply those changes and we go in here and we put this in there, and it's like, oh, it disappeared from up here, but like down here now in this category. See, like I'm slowly figuring out why things are down here by like messing around with stuff. And if we put this back to planks, I think that's what its name was. I don't like it'll update if we got it right. Obviously, we didn't get it right, but like whatever it was beforehand, or if we just delete this, right, and we go, it that sets it back to normal. What was it? Oh, wood planks. Overwrite this again. Apply changes. Go out of this again. See, like there's gonna be errors. Well, what happened to our decorative planks? What happened to those? They're gone. Like, oh well, like now we gotta figure that out, right? Like it's this. You can't be scared to mess up. Essentially, is what I'm saying. Don't be scared to mess things up because guess what? You're not messing up your client. As soon as you go right here, quit the main menu, and you go back to another world, guess what? These items no longer exist. They, if I go and I grab a builder's table and Azure wood, I can't do that anymore. And it's because it's like it's server side, right? It's your world that has the mods in it, right? And that's super powerful for iteration. That means you can just mess around and you'll only mess up your world, you won't mess up your game, right? So feel free to like mod to your heart's content, right? Like mess things up, see what they do, mess around. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you got this far, hopefully this like inspires you to mess around with Hytale modding and do something that you've never seen before, or to explore it more thoroughly. This has been Supple Ties. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Maybe I'll make more mods or more tutorials about mods. Bye bye.